I'm Tanya Glav-Wallace with All Hands Volunteers, and we're here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where just over 2.5 weeks ago a wildfire raced through the Great Smoky Mountains and destroyed over 2,000 homes, leaving 14,000 residents homeless and sadly taking 14 lives in the process. And we're here today, we're up in the Great Smoky Mountains. What you can see behind me is one of these homes that was destroyed during the fire. On this side, what we're seeing is probably what you'd expect to see in the aftermath of a wildfire. So we've got charred trees and blackened ground. But on this side, and this is what we've seen the whole way up as you drive up from Gatlinburg itself, you just see house after house after house reduced to piles of ashes. And we're a disaster relief organisation. We're familiar with the aftermath of natural disasters, but seeing what a fire achieves is really quite remarkable. I mean, this really is just cinders. This was a 3-story home right here in this beautiful backdrop that is the Great Smoky Mountains, this tourist town, and it's quite incredible to see quite how apocalyptic the scene actually is. What we're going to do now, we're just going to come down and speak to the team from All Hands Volunteers, and in particular Sherry Baresh, who is the Director of US Response. She's been here since the 1st of December and can give us a little bit more insight as to what the residents have been through and exactly what All Hands Volunteers are doing to help them right now. So this is Sherry Baresh, who's our Director of US Response. And Sherry, what's All Hands Volunteers doing here today?
Yeah, what we've been doing is sifting through the ashes. We have been very surprised at some of the things we've been able to find, and it's the only thing the homeowners still have left that we can give to them. Along with that, we're providing free chainsaw service to get the trees down that may endanger the property or people, and we're removing the debris over so it can be taken off to make a clear place for them to start operating around.
And Sherry, so you've been here since the 1st of December.
Yes.
And is this the only work we're doing here at the moment?
No. We're also working with Volunteer East Tennessee and coordinating and running the Volunteer Reception Center and the phone banks and data entry banks as well. So we've got satellite dishes for Volunteer Reception Centers too.
Fantastic. And have many volunteers come through the doors at the reception
Yes,
centre?
it's been a great outpouring. We've had about 8,000 volunteers come through there. We're assigning them out to work in donation centers and in other areas that need volunteers, as well as coming with the organized teams to help clean up the property. So we've had a great outpouring, but the need is still great, and we need more and more volunteers. And you know, if someone is interested and wants to volunteer and work with All Hands Volunteers, they can go to hands.org and sign up to come in and work with us on helping the property owners.
Yeah. And I imagine just being with these residents that have been affected day after day, you must have heard some really awful stories coming out of here.
It's been extremely sad, and it's been very hard to have to hear some of the stories, and I can't imagine what they went through. You know, we've heard stories of people doing things like having to drive through with fire on both sides of them surrounding them, not being able to see the road for the smoke, and actually rolling windows down and having to stick their heads out with the flames and then everything around them, trying to get out of it.
Wow. And this is Shirley.
Yes.
And Shirley, sadly, this was your home.
This was our home for 33 years. So we were fortunate to be able to live here and to look at that view every day for 33 years, and that view's still here. So the house isn't, but look at that mountain. That's Mount LeConte, and that's about 6,200 feet high, and people come from all over the U.S. to hike into the mountains. So we want to let you know that Smoky Mountains is still here. Only a small portion was destroyed in this fire. So,
and what happened on the night itself? Were you at home?
We were at home with our 2 dogs, and as you can see, we have Misty here, and Breezy's okay too. And my husband, it was getting very smoky inside the home. And so I asked my husband to go out and drive down the street to see why we were getting so much excessive smoke. We knew there'd been a fire in the chimneys, part of the mountain, for quite a few weeks, but we felt it was under control. So he drove just a few minutes, called me and said, get the dogs, get to the front porch, and we need to get out of here. So I said, go by and get the Driscolls. They're friends of ours that live up the street, and they're a little older than we are, and we were fearful that they might not be able to drive down the mountain. So he got them and came here. I grabbed the dogs and their medicine, and we started down the mountain and had to go 3 different routes before we were able to get down, because there was fire on both sides of the street, just like you were saying. And then we were safe in town. So I want to thank these people. You all remember these people, all hands. They have been wonderful. They have all their hands here working to try to help us get over this, and getting this cleared will be helping us to have closure. So if you have an opportunity anytime in the future to help these people, please do that. We're going to, and we see firsthand what All Hands does. So thank you all so much for helping us.
It's been our pleasure to be able to help you, and we just want to help you rebuild and get back on your feet again. So we've enjoyed being able to get to know you.
Thank you.
You've been amazing after what you've gone through, and look, you're getting closer.
That's true.
By the minute.
And we were fortunate because our neighbor across the street did not survive the fire. And that we were able to warn some of the people that lived up here. My husband was knocking on their doors and telling them that they had 5 minutes. We have some friends across the street that are missionaries in Kenya, and they were back from their mission trip, so they were here. And so there's good things that have happened in this, that we're able to help other people to survive this fire.
Yeah, as horrific as it is, it's always amazing to see the outpouring of people coming in to help and to try to lift you up and get you back on your feet. And we're just glad to be a part of that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you.
We're going to, I think, let's go in and actually see what the volunteers are doing. Because I know that so part of this process is actually sifting through the remains to see if, you know, with the fires I was saying earlier, sort of everything's reduced to this ash, and we're just trying to see if there are any possessions that can possibly be salvaged, so that Shirley has something left from her home that was here. And here we have Carrie, who's a volunteer from North Carolina. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Carrie Briscoe. I'm from North Carolina.
Yes. And how long have you been here? Did you come in on 1st of December, so right from the outset?
Right from the beginning.
Wow. And was there a particular reason you wanted to come to Gatlinburg to help? Were you just moved by what you saw?
Yes, we spend almost every weekend here, and to watch the fires ravage everything and not be able to do anything was really heartbreaking. So this is something we can do.
Fantastic. And it's pretty physical work.
It's very physical work, yes.
Yeah, but rewarding.
It's very rewarding, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. And tell me, Carrie, because I know you're working alongside homeowners who've been affected every day, and you must hear some really horrible stories. Is there been stuff that's really touched you
Yeah, there's one particular family that I followed from the beginning. The husband and the son weren't at home, and they had their family's only car, and his wife and kids were, wife and 2 daughters were, that story really kills me.
Yeah. Yes, it's truly divided a family, and yeah. So we'll leave you. No, we will leave you to keep going with your work.
Okay,
so.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So as you can see, there's still a huge task ahead of us here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and if people do want to come out and help, and as Sherry was saying earlier, there's still a huge need for volunteers, and particularly around the holiday season, we're seeing those numbers start to dwindle. So if you do want to volunteer with All Hands Volunteers, all you need to do is go to our website, which is hands.org, as Sherry was saying earlier, and you can either donate to the cause, which will help more volunteers come in and help, or actually come and volunteer yourself, and you'd be most welcome. Thank you.